Alafia to one and all. We must say we are here. Another night on the Shit 919 FM. We share the way of life. To your host, Alatu Mishe Ifaba Mishe again, key better known as MC Duke. Yeah. I greet you all in the name of Olodumare, the Almighty Creator. I greet you all in the name of Orishanla, Orisha Magbo. I greet you in the name of all Orisha and Igungun. We must nourish our spirituality by adherence to all the tenets of Ifa. As we develop good character, we must understand that it is an internal process judged by behavior in each moment. Continued prayer to Olodumare, continued sacrifice, veneration of Orishas and ancestors. It is the only way to achieve true peace. May Orishanla bless us all. May the Ori self and the Ori Inu, the one that dances in front of the mat, be in total alignment. Let the bright light of Iji Ogbe continue to illuminate our lives. Iba, my reverence to God, He that spreads all over the universe. Reverence to the dawn of the day. Reverence to the sunset. Reverence to Mother Earth. Reverence to Orun Milia. Witness to creation. Reverence to the 200 Iron mole on the right hand side of God. Reverence to the 200 Iron mole on the left hand side of God. Reverence to the 401 Iron mole, the ones that shuttle between heaven and earth. Reverence to Akoda, the first Ifa student. Reverence to Asida, Akoda's first student. Reverence to the mothers, the beautiful birds. Reverence to one's ancestors. Reverence to one's father. Reverence to one's mother. Reverence to one's Olowo. Reverence to one Ojobuna. I say Alafia to each and every one. My guest tonight would have been Baba Fabrice Baker. However, I will link with him via phone because where he lives, it is under a bit of water right now. And I will hook up with him and we will speak. But tonight, I have with me in my presence Otito Jason.
Jason Hospitales.
Artist and painter in the Orisha tradition. Again, you know, I'm your host, Alatu Mishe Ifaba Mishe Aganki. I like to say, Ika Santa Mayelas, Are Ifa Lashe Orisha Lashe Igun Leti Egbe Pomeleri, Ye Oba Aliola Ifayomi, Ishubaye Ifayomi Temiliri of the Mother's Nest in Konupia. I'd like to shout out to the sponsors who has made this show possible here tonight. The first episode of November. Sponsors Nice Nuts, Quinlan Brand Bottle Coconut Water 716-6396. Kamara's Culture Store, the #1 importer and supplier of genuine products from Africa, located at Adams Bazaar Mall, Main Road, Shoguanas. Numbers 6728438, 320-8866. Gossip Gel Polish 3827587. Petty by Risi 3984474, Cipriani Boulevard, Port of Spain. Temple of Juba Orisha, Imulo, Egypt Village, Shoguanas. Nubian Experience, number 6, Woodford Street, Arima, 6881979. Oriyome, Nicole Huggins, Health and Wealth Lifestyle, number 73, Eastern Main Road, Bartaya. We are coming together as a people. Slowly but surely, we are getting there. We need to stamp our authority. We need the message. We need the truth. This show, Ifa Orisha Way of Life on the Shit 919 FM, each and every Monday. You can stream us live on Iwer TV on YouTube. You can also stream us live on Shit 919 FM Facebook page. So, I'll get into it. because we lost some time. So Jason Hernandez, Hospitales. Why I keep saying Hernandez? The ancestors who sit at God's feet, and we're in November, so we're celebrating ancestors. So I'd like you to give me a small introduction of yourself.
Well, the introduction, though it might be small, in no way could be overemphasize my passion for the craft. I am Jason Hospitalis. I've been practicing art for the past 20 odd years. I think I was born with the predisposition for art. I am 39 years of age, born in February, and I have been toiling with my craft for a very long time, and my influences have shifted and changed over the years based on various experiences that I've had. I am one of my greatest supporters is my mother, Eileen Pilgrim, who saw it fit to get me enrolled in art experience where I would be under the tutelage of Makemba Kunle at a very early age. Makemba Kunle, that is the artist in residence at Studio 66 in Barataria.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing my A-level chemistry and physics subjects at Polytechnic, I took a shift in direction in terms of where I wanted to spend my attention. And I decided I would like to continue, on the path of an artist. And my mother decided, well, all right, you're 16 years old, you're not going to just stay in the house here and scratch, come and meet a real artist. Over 2 weeks, she observed my behavior, and I didn't know in those 2 weeks she was preparing workshops for me. She and Makemba was lazing, and Makemba took me on as one of his only students at the time, at a period where he had stopped giving out lessons, art lessons and so on. He decided, all right, let's take on Jason. And I was fortunate to get a lot of individual attention. And during that period, my focus shift from the type of work I was doing at secondary school, which was like flowers and landscapes, and I went into a whole new world of color and design and creativity, So I saw a different style of work, and this is, I think, my introduction to the Studio 66 art support community has helped shape who I am today.
So we are here with Jason Hospitalis, a sculptor and artist in the Orisha diaspora. I'd just like to say, Ikale, to those on the Facebook page, Yaje Bernard, Ajabose, Ajegbo Tifa, always here. Angie St. Paul, greetings to you all, Atumishe, Ifaba Mishe, and Mugabe Kenyatta. He isn't here. He's running late, so...
Greetings.
My main guest tonight, due to where he resides, it is underwater, but I will be hooking up with him via phone call from 8. So we have the sculptor here, Jason Hospitalis. I'd like you to talk about your work that you brought here tonight.
Well, tonight I brought 3 examples of what I do. This one is pretty big. It's about 38 inches by 40, or 48 by 30 rather, which is that's 4 feet or by almost 3 feet. It's a shift of direction because I usually paint faces and portraits done in a very expressionistic style. But this one now, I've put some animals in it, specifically the horses, and I wanted, it's called the Celestial Riders. I wanted to get a sense of these cosmic riders, but also a commentary on the manifestation and possession type experience, where the person who who is being possessed is the husi or the horse, and the rider is the Orisha. So this is a commentary on that exchange, but done in a way that lends itself to interpretation still, you know.
Nice.
I have if you will permit me to put up a next one.
Yeah.
This is an example of something where we have a cross between the two-dimensional and three-dimensional expression. I actually have the face coming off of the flat surface, where you can see some of my sculptural skills coming in here. I didn't bring any sculpture here today, but this is an example of some of my 3D work. This piece is called The Tempest Queen. It's a tribute to Iwer, you know. So, you know, I just wanted to say now is that time we, you know, people say we celebrating ancestors. But this is the way of life of the Ifa Orisha people. Every day the ancestors are venerated. It's just in the Euro-American, Euro-Christian atmosphere now is All Saints and All Souls. And the impetus is to go at the cemetery and clean it up and light the lights for the recently departed and even those departed, you know, for some time, and give the ancestors some honor. But in our tradition, is a way of life, is an everyday thing.
Ashe.
You know.
You must give what is due to the ancestors. You must give it to them.
Yes.
So
I just brought these two examples of my work. I don't know. Based on what questions come at me, I'll be able to talk more about my work and so on. But, you know, this is a story about the ancestors dancing among the lions, like, you know, like a First Nation people ritual, where the lions and the people are one, and they're dancing among the lions. So, you know, these are 3 examples of the work, you know. Yeah.
Yes. I must say, this is what this show is all geared up and about, bringing out members and people of the diaspora, showing their talent, showing their works. Because look at what the Baba doing. Look at what he's doing. Look at the talent. Look at the expression. Look at the message behind the artwork. This is not something you just say you want to do like this. Now, King Shaka is in the building. Shaka, you're late, but he's here. I share to that, you know. So I must say, this is good work, great work. I know there are more and more people in the diaspora out there who have this type of talent. Yeah. You know, there's the platform. Yeah. I was glad. Look how things happen. Fabrice was to be here, can't come water, call Shaka say alright. And look how I know you a while. Yeah. You know, but connection then happened this way. Yeah. I must say the message. So the phone lines are open now at 3420081, 3420081, and 7711791, 7711791, where you can link up and speak to Jason, you know, and ask him questions concerning his artwork. You know, Jason, I like it to tell them where they can contact you.
Well,
you know, where are some of your
my work could be viewed on Instagram at Hospitales Jason. Guys, Hospitales Jason. You can type it up and get my Instagram page, which I've dedicated solely for the purpose of my artwork. And they can find me on Facebook, and they can certainly make arrangements with me to pay me a studio visit at my studio residence at Pity Valley, 178 Duke of Edinburgh Avenue, Pity Valley. You know, so any interested persons can message me on those platforms, Facebook and Instagram, and certainly can make arrangements to visit me and see the work live and direct.
And his phone numbers, you know?
Yes, my number is 289-8126. 289-8126.
I have a question here from Iyaji Bernard. What inspired you to shift from contemporary artwork to painting and sculpting, Orisha?
Well, contemporary artwork is a fancy name for work that is done now, in the present. And so my work could be considered as contemporary artwork. But I think what you're asking me is what made me shift from my paintings of landscapes and flowers and that kind of work. And I think my experience at Studio 66 had a lot to do with that, where I saw a whole new dimension, a whole new ball game, a whole new world of color and expression. And I think it has to do with my experiences going through, under the tutelage of Makemba and becoming more conscious as an individual too, That was a period in my life from that early age of 16 years where I started to read a lot about Rastafarianism and Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started to read about Africa, my outlook changed. And therefore it echoed into, my artwork. And definitely I have a passion for creating these beautiful people, painting these beautiful people. I think the African person is a good subject.
Sure. I have a next question here from one of my favorites here every night. They don't miss a session. Fiola Rada.
Right.
She says, greetings, Jason.
Greetings.
Blessings to see you tonight and sharing your beautiful work. Also, let your audience know you had a successful exhibition. So I want to elaborate on it,
Yes. In 2017, I had my first solo exhibition. It was entitled The Ancestors Who Sit at God's Feet. It was a fantastic show. I had 56 pieces on exhibit. At the end of 12 days, I was able to sell 36 pieces. I had great response from patrons. I think I was able to be successful in my mission to inspire and to have something that would be like food for the eyes. I think I was successful in doing that. And definitely I got a great response. In 2019, I had my second solo exhibition, which was entitled A Tribute to the Divine and Those of Sacred Flight, which also was well received. Thank you, for reiterating of a period that was such a high for me. I think I was riding on the high of those exhibitions for a long period.
Ajebo Seyabi Jedwa, Ajebo Tufa says, I can see you using colors based on how you vibrate and express. What comes to mind while creating masterpieces?
Well, one of the things that inspire me, I will start first to answer that question based on what is my inspiration. And my inspiration comes from my space, my experiences. Living in this Twin Island Republic, this tropical space filled with mountains, seas, and rivers, I think that is something that has uplifted me, just being in this space, being in this tropical space. And, thoughts come and go while creating. Sometimes I purposefully put a thought in place based on what I'm creating. So, for instance, this piece is a tribute to Oya. So, I would sing, Oya, nini ankayele, Oya, nini ankayele. I would sing while creating. I would, place the imagery of Oya into my ori, into my mental space, and create. But thoughts is a funny thing. Thoughts come and go. So a lot of things pass through the mind.
True. She said, Fiola says, yes, it was a fantastic show with great pieces. Olorisha Yomi says, me Obatala continue to guide your ori.
Ashe.
Pa Obatala, pa Orisha.
Ashe wa.
So I must stress on it. It's good work. Anytime you have an exhibition again, reach out to us. That we get it out there. We are the support to you. Right. The same way you go and buy a Mona Lisa, or you go buy a whoever.
For millions.
Yeah. support we own.
Yeah.
You know, we need to support we own. This is good work here. You know what I mean? And today being Shango, I know yeah. What a better day than to have this piece here. You know? Nothing happens just so. Yeah, especially on a day like this, I feel good. I feel great.
Yeah.
You know?
Recently, I had a patron who gave great support to my endeavors. He is an orthopedic surgeon in Atlanta, but he is Trinidad born, a fellow named Jabari Martin. And he saw it fit to buy one of my big pieces, was the poster boy for that first show, The Ancestors Who Sit at God's Feet. And it was a big piece, it's $7,000 US, he paid for it. And, you know, this is I encourage people to look at what I have available, because I have work from as little as $800 to as much as $60,000, and all in between the price ranges. So, you know, feel free to message me, make inquiries, arrange studio visit, come and check out what I have, you know.
Just like how you was nurtured, your parents saw this talent in you, knowing how the direction the world has shifted and gone into, the youths, the Ifa Orisha diaspora and the whole. How can you impact with the youth and the diaspora together? How can you reach out?
Well, there are various platforms that could reach out to the youths. Advertising, workshops, and so on is one way. But I can leave a word with them now. You know, the word is, don't forsake your inert creativity. Because I think all of us from young came here with something that allow us to scribble and draw, and, you know, would affect us, colors would affect us in various ways and so on. So I think that I would encourage youths to be true, keep looking at beauty. Let you know beauty is beautiful, and keep looking at what is beauty. Try and create beautiful things of their own. You know, this is one of my purposes. Yeah, to try and create beautiful things of their own.
So King Shaka, my co-host, my brother, we had a good day yesterday.
Yes, we had a good day.
In that prayers, you know, the sister did her prayers, you know, it was good. We enjoyed ourselves.
What's the name?
Carlene. I know you always have a burning question, you know, for them, and it's the first episode for November, being the time that we're celebrating ancestors.
Yes.
You know, what you have for him, brother?
Well, I am amazed by this piece entitled, you know, The Ancestors Who Sit at God's Feet.
Oh, sure.
Because also today is where people light up candles for their ancestors, right? In creating that piece, what was coming to your mind in creating that piece especially?
Well, it's a long story really and truly, you know. I think a lot of thoughts went through the mind, because that piece took me about 16 years to finish. I think I was never being truthful. I started that piece in 1999 and I finished in 2017. So you could do the maths. And it didn't start off like what it is, what it developed into. It started off as me trying to create a motion of a man throwing a cuff. And I wanted to get him in the various stages of landing this punch. And in doing that, I saw the dynamics of the Orisha coming forward. You know, so although I created the painting, talking to me too.
Oh, sure.
You know, they say artists are a little crazy. and so I watching the painting, and the painting telling me where it want to go to.
Yeah.
The direction to carry it.
And that shows too that the ancestors was guiding your Ori to create such a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Because what you said, the painting started off as a man built in a cup.
Yeah.
And then it emerged into something else. And that is a representation of the struggles of our ancestors
Yes.
into bringing us here at this time with this type of liberation.
Yes.
Ashe.
Yeah.
J. Bernard says, yes, being in the tropical space is divine. Fiola Rhoda says, every piece is a work of real art. People are, especially tonight, I like you guys to share the life. Share it. Let this Baba work be noticed. Let it not go unnoticed. Let it be known that within the Ifa Orisha tradition, Ifa being the truth, which is patience, respect, and humility, we have good people within the diaspora that does good things outside of giving and doing and practicing Ifa and practicing how to appreciate and propitiate the Orishas. We have people who could do good work and use the same energy from Ifa and Orisha to show their talent, because that piece of artwork behind is trouble also. Very powerful. Very powerful. Alvin Sultan says, great work, Jason. Ashe.
Yes.
Great work. So people share the life. Share the life for me, please. Let this be known. Had this been an art exhibition with Mona Lisa and somebody dressed up somehow in some suit with some laser light pointing, you would have seen 5,000 views, 10,000 views. Again, this platform, Ifa Orisha Way of Life, is about the truth and only the truth. You know, and has some things to say, you know. And elders are to be respected at all times. But I want to say something. You see these two hours conducting the show here? Alatu Miche myself and King Shaka. Whoever our differences, whoever our problems, we're not on that. We're bridging the gap. We need to see some sense of honesty, respect, humility, and patience within the diaspora, because this attitude of this Baba don't talk to that one and that Baba don't talk to that one and this one, this ear don't talk to that one and that ear don't talk to that one, we not on that. We on the truth. There's a reason why we are here. Not cutting into your time, my brother. So we have approximately 7 minutes with Jason Hospitales here. The ancestors who sit at God's feet, you know.
I wanted to say something concerning the decade of recognition given to people of African descent. This is an initiative by the United Nations where a decade of reverence is supposedly supposed to be highlighted for people of African descent. And I find it's an initiative that has largely gone unnoticed and unmentioned. And relative to the words to the youths who may be listening, and definitely is a time to seek out your golden history, your nobility as an African person, and you know the golden legacy that we have.
Yes, so and Ziga Reed, good supporter of this show here, says Hospitales, Jason Hospitales, Alafia Tam begin with Gwindi, Alafia the ancestral traditions live. So you know, just show them, go through it again, go through all the pieces.
Right.
Let them people. Yeah, what I want. I want to see this live reach before 8 o'clock. I want to see this live reach at least 75.
Right.
This is our brother. Put him out there. Let him be sold the right way. We are not sold into slavery no more. Let him be sold the right way. We are here for a reason and a purpose. Support it. This is ours. Not a big art exhibition somewhere in Queens Royal, as I say, with a laser light. This is our brother sitting down here, showing you the energy and the vibration that he has gotten from his Ori to direct his hands to produce this piece of art.
So we have I brought 3 pieces tonight. This is a work in progress, not yet finished, where I place emphasis on the horses and the horsemen, and the name of it is the Celestial Riders, a commentary on the Orisha and the Manifesta. The body of the Manifesta being the horse and the riders being the Orisha. But it's also something that can lend itself to interpretation as well, right? Which is the nature of my work. This also is work in progress. It is a story about these indigenous people having a dance out in the night, a ceremony, a festival-like activity among the lions. No fear between the human beings and the lions. So this is a story there based on that. I have 1 female lion and these 4 males, and it is also open to interpretation. Somebody might see something that I am yet to see, which is the nature of my work as well. You know, and this one called the Tempest Queen, an example of my 3-dimensional talent, my three-dimensional art, where there's this relief element coming off of the flat surface. And the tempest is the whirlwind, the cyclone, the tornado, you know. And this is a tribute to that energy that rolls with the wind.
Winds of change.
Winds of change, you know. So this is where we are at, and I have so many different types of stories in my renditions, which is also very experimental in nature. I use all sorts of different techniques to achieve my effects.
That's right.
So just give them the handles where they can contact you, your platforms, you know.
Yes. Well, right now, Instagram and Facebook, you can message me on Instagram and Facebook. You can find me at Hospitalis Jason on my Instagram page, which I have dedicated to be like a portfolio for my artwork. So you can definitely look at what I'm doing on Instagram, and all my posts from Instagram go immediately to Facebook. So you can message me on either one of the platforms. My number is 289-8126, 289-8126. You can contact me and arrange to make a studio visit at my studio residence in Pity Valley, 170 Duke of Edinburgh Avenue, Pity Valley.
Yes, my brother. So I must say, let's run through the comments here. And Zigarit says, Madupe, all your work is appreciated. Adiola says, Adiola from the Oribata.
Right.
Yes, people, as they say, Adiola. Funding for Adiola Pascal for his scholarship to head to New Zealand. You can go to First Citizens Bank, account number 2694483. That's account number 2694483. It's a savings account. Adam Lay Pascal. We need to support our own people. Adiola from who does Oribata. If you don't know about it, look it up. Get yourself familiar, get your pocket familiar, and support the brother. Right? So funding for Adiola Pascal for his scholarship. First Citizens Bank, name Adam Lee Pascal, account number 2694483. It's a savings account. He says, blessing to my brothers, the host and my brother artists. I want to give blessings on the show and blessings to the artists. Great work. The universe and Orisha speaks in all ways, and art is one of them. Visual and performing arts So in essence, the artist is a spiritual worker.
Yes.
Keep working, brother Ashe.
Yeah.
Olorisha Omiyomi says, would love a dedicated piece for Olodumare.
Yes.
Rose Petal Nicholas says, good night, Fiola Rada. Very true, Jason. You are so correct. This decade is very silent, even from our own people. January 2015 to December 2024. November is African history. Very little is being done, even amongst our community. Sophia Wallace Dick says, oh yeah, oh. Retman Litu says, how long till my brothers work for us on walking of the garden of the ancestors on there? Our Tunde, Ajegboti Failebulion. Baba Mitchell says, Ashe wa. So, I must thank you on behalf of myself and my co-host,
Yes.
King Shaka. This is the platform. We have found a way. We have found a way where the Orisha correct and truthful information can be spread on this medium here. We have other platforms like Soca being done by Ifa Porere Sean Singh and the other platforms. So step by step, the rat is running. We are getting there.
Yes.
So
yes.
I say, may Olodumare guide and protect you and bless you. May the Orishas always be with you. May your Ori always guide you in everything that you do. And I say, brother, thank you very much. Just a phone call away. Call us if you have an art exhibition to do.
Yes.
And I'm telling you this right here. Because the sponsor's paying for this show.
Right.
Right? And if you have an art exhibition and you had to get the message out, call us. We will do that. We will do that for you.
Yes.
Yeah, because you came on that short notice.
Yeah.
You know, I say King Shaka problems. We go to bap, 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 bap. You know, Shaka said, don't worry, I have a man coming and look at it. I still have Baba Fabrice Baker to come on after you on our call set, you know. So, thank you very much.
Yes, man.
It was a pleasure.
It was my pleasure.
People, you know, so may you reach home safe to your destination.
Indeed.
People, we are going to take a little break. We're going to play some music and come right back at you.
Get in. Oya de, oya de, oya. Oya de, oya de, oya de, oh. Oya de, oya de, oya. Oya de, oya de, oya de, oh. Oya de, oya de, oya. Oya de, oya de, oya de, oh. Oya de, oya de, oya. Oya de, oya de, oya de, oh. Oya de, oya de, oya. Oya de, oya de, oya de, oh. Oya de, oya de, oya. Oya de, oya de, oya de, oya. Oya de, oya de, oya. Oya de, oya de, oya de, oh. Oya de, oya de, oya. Oya de, oya de, oya de, oh. Oya de, oya Shokoto. Oya ode ariwo, oya nshaloku shokoto. Oya ode ariwo, oya nshaloku shokoto. Oya ode ariwo, oya nshaloku shokoto.
Alafia. Yes, so we're back at it. I'd just like to call out the sponsors who has been making this show possible. Sponsors: Nice Nuts, Quinlan brand bottle coconut water, 7166396 Kamara's Culture Store, the #1 importer and supplier of genuine products from Africa, located at Adams Bazaar Mall, Shoguanas, number 6728438 3208866. Gossip Gel Polish 38275887. Petty by VC, located at Cipriani Boulevard 39844474. Temple Ojuba Orisha Umalo Village Shoguanas, Egypt Village Shoguanas. Nubian Experience, number 6 Woodford Street Arima 6881979. Oriomi Nicole Loggins Health and Wealth Lifestyle, number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Also
we also have Omo Inu, all things woman. Omo Inu, all things woman. You could find them on Instagram, you could find them on Facebook. Their number is 3654332. Also the Lock Duck, you could find them on Instagram and on Facebook. And we also have the Oshun Ogun vegetable stall on Umera Road, Arima. Thanks.
Yes, so we are here. I'm going to link up via phone interview to leader Fabrice Awoifabagde Lubion of Olodumare Temple of Light. I'm going to connect with him now, and we are going to have a one-on-one conversation with him. Alafia.
Habaru Aboye
Boato.
one and all on this program.
Thank you.
Pleasant good evening to one and all.
Thank you. Good
Are you
night.
hearing me?
Thank you. Yes, we are hearing you. We are hearing you.
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Nice. Well, to all my elders, I pay respect to you, to the host of this number one program, Orisha Way of Life.
Thank you.
I want to say to you to keep up the good work in bringing light to and truth to our tradition.
Benny.
Yes, to the sponsors and various leaders of the Ifa Orisha tradition. I want to say thank you for keeping this program alive. And I want to implore the listeners and persons of our tradition who enjoy this program and the lessons learned to try to reach out and make a financial contribution to its continuance. Yes? Thank you for having me.
Yes. So we are here. I know due to the situation down on your end of the country, you're a bit underwater. But
yes.
with the technology and the blessings of Baba Ogun, we are able to connect and have the same, you know.
Sure.
We are here, so I'd like you to give us a small introduction of yourself, you know.
So, as I said, is leader Fabrice, also known as Ifak Bade Elaboibon of Olojumari Temple of Light. I want to make it clear to the listeners that I am not a Babalawo, but my spiritual children always address me as such because, as we know, the word Baba in Yoruba has many meanings.
True.
And one such meaning is father. Yes? So that's the reason why many may refer to me as Baba, but I am a Babalawo. Probably one day, but not at this point. Yes? I really want to take this apologize for not being in the studio as person, but you know, as you said before, Olodumare has his own plans, and due to the weather, I am now liming with Yaoshun a little bit.
Yes.
But the message has to be given.
Yes.
Yes. So, today's topic for me is on ancestral veneration and its importance to us.
Ashe.
Yes? So firstly, I would ask you to allow me to call on my own ancestors, Michael Filbert, Ian Wharton, Yolanda Barker, and all other ancestors whose names I may not know, but who sit at the feet of Olodumare. Ashe? You know, some may ask why this topic? Because for me and our tradition, Igum endured too much for us to be indecisive about our power. Yes?
Yes.
So, you know, at this time of the year is the time when most persons find the time to go visit their loved ones at their respective rest places. Yes? So I want to, for the persons who join the program who may not know or understand, what is, give you these few words so you can understand what, to get into a proper mindset, as they would say. So words like worship, hallow, deified, idolized, hold sacred, exalt, honor, esteem, look up to, think highly of, pay homage to, pay tribute to, adore, praise, hold in awe, stand in awe of, marvel at, value, put on a pedestal, magnify, or Lord. These are all words meaning to venerate. Ashe?
Ashe.
So through these small words, I hope some of the listeners who may not fully understand, I hope you have a just a little clearer understanding. But for further understanding, I would like to read to you an excerpt from a book called Igun, written by Iwer Fatum. So I begin. We come to greet the earth and live in harmony with the natural environment. And so we will have a comfortable home when we return from the land of the ancestors in the future reincarnation.
Baba, Baba, hold on.
Yes.
I'd like us to break. Let me move from the WhatsApp and call you direct, because I realize there's a signal problem and it's causing some distortion.
So there won't money shango, there won't
Hello?
Yes, so we're back.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Great. Lovely. So you hear me now loud and clear?
Yes, very loud and clear without
Lovely.
any trouble.
Thank you. So again, I was reading from a book called Igun, written by Iwer Fatum. Yes?
Yes.
And it reads as such. We come to greet the earth and live in harmony with the natural environment so we can make the earth a better place to live. And so we will have a comfortable home when we return from the land of the ancestors in the future reincarnation. To be remembered for 7 generations is a way to acknowledge personal growth during a particular lifetime, and a way to remember the past accomplishments of a newborn baby. Humans tend to forget previous lives. In the family and the culture preserved that information. It is an effective tool for the guidance of children who are building on the lessons learned in an earlier incarnation. It is the ancestors who gave us guidance in our quest to live in harmony with the earth, and it is the ancestors who gave us guidance in the process of developing good character. These ideas are so fundamental in the Yoruba culture that whenever someone is asked a question, no personal opinion is given until there has been a quote from the wisdom of the ancestors in the form of a proverb and a segment of Ifa oracle scripture. Person's opinion have little or no value in Ifa except as commentary on the ideas of those who have completed an earlier life cycle. Calling the name of your ancestors going back 7 generations means you will be able to identify your own previous reincarnation. Most children in the traditional Yoruba families have a naming ceremony, which is called a sentai, within a week after their birth. The ritual includes divination used to identify the former existence of the child and to identify if the child comes from the mother or the father's lineage. The identification gives the developing child solid information on the previous lessons learned. In this way, spiritual growth becomes an ongoing process that does not have to begin anew with each incarnation. According to Iwer, this benefits not only the individual but also the entire community. If we are able to build on the lessons learned in a previous lifestyle, we can move on to new lessons that will benefit both self and world. Within the internal cycle of life, death, transformation, and rebirth, there is expansion of consciousness. To support this ongoing quest for spiritual elevation, Iwer honors the spirit of Igun. Most books on Yoruba culture translate Igun to mean ancestor, which is only partially correct. Igun is more accurately defined as the collective consciousness of all those ancestors who are waiting for the opportunity to return to earth. Igun, as a spiritual phenomenon, is bigger and more inclusive than any specific ancestor spirit. The Yoruba phrase of an individual ancestor would be Ara Orun, meaning body or person living in the ancestral realm. In order to maintain the connection with the Gun spirit of the ancestors, a traditional Yoruba extended families designate at least one person every generation to be the medium for the family, Igun. The mediums are called Igungun or Ilesun. Right?
Yes.
This is the end of the excerpt. Now, we have learned so much from our former slave masters, teaching us to respect our ancestors as if they come to you in a vision. But I want all the listeners to understand that we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors.
Sure.
You know, long ago, I remember my grandmother telling me, if you see anybody come in your dream, cuss them and run them. If you see your grandfather come to you in a dream, cuss him and run him. Tell him you don't want to see nothing about him. It is because through certain doctrines, they have taught us to hate our own. They have taught us that our own is not good enough. So imagine, we have been taught by certain doctrines of the Christian faith to worship Saint Michael, Saint Mary, Saint Jude, and the list goes on, all of whom were once upon this face of earth, and because of their good works, they may have been elevated to some sort of higher spiritual vibration. We should venerate them. But what about your ancestor? What about that grandmother, grandfather, sister, aunt, or uncle who was so good to you that nobody could not even fly to Disneyland on you? They don't want that. What about them? What about them? I remember going to funerals long ago, and they would do a ritual where if, let's say, a mother dies, they would take the children and they would pass them over the coffin several times. And in curiosity and learning, what is this all about? It was told to me that is so that the mother will never come to them or visit them from the spirit realm.
That's a fallacy.
Really?
That's a fallacy.
So that is madness. So this mother who probably loves her children dearly, but unforeseen circumstances, sickness, whatever, she has now passed away and gone over. You are telling me that mother should not have anything to do in the life of that child?
What a madness.
But it is okay for us to call on Mother Saint Anne. So forget yours.
Other
but
people's
call
ancestors.
on other people's ancestors.
And you know what is?
But I want. Go
You know
ahead.
what is something they also say? When you're dead, you're done, and let the dead bury the dead, as if
The
you
dead.
supposed to detach yourself totally from your loved one
Yes.
and embrace
Yes.
someone else's ancestry and doctrine.
Yes, yes, yes. You know what I think is one of the things that is very sad is that black people are so or were hurt so much mentally that we are so willing to accept everybody else's ancestors. I listen to my spiritual Baptist brothers and sisters and understand that I also follow that line of tradition. But I listen to some of my spiritual Baptist brothers and sisters, and they are so willing, even though they have African heritage, they are so willing to say, either Indian in the spirit,
What is that, Mr. Barker?
either Chinese in the spirit. So you are so willing to identify yourself with somebody else's tradition because of the hate that you were taught.
Barker, what you are saying
Yes?
is so on point. You know, because even at childhood, the kinds of books we are exposed to, even in the comic books, even in the cartoons, Batman white, Superman white, Flash white, this cartoon, the strongest man in the world white. So then that would then condition one mind in order
Correctly.
to be ashamed of who they are. And when you are ashamed of who you are, you will then be ashamed of your ancestors. Because you know, it is so deep rooted. If you could look at yourself in the mirror and hate how you look, hate, you know, the contours on your face, you know, your lips, you know, your thick nose, you will then be ashamed of where you come from. And that is
Yes.
what was done. You understand? But I am so happy that you are bringing light to this particular situation right now. Thank you.
Yes.
Continue,
Yes.
please.
Yes. You know, sometimes when I go into a church and I have the right and the authority to speak on it because I live it every day. Sometimes it is hurt my heart when I go into a church or a spiritual Baptist church, and we are all willing to accept if the Chinaman come or the Indian spirit come. But listen, as soon as Ma or your floating, we should get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Because we hate ourselves.
To hate ourselves. It is time that we wake up. It is time that we understand that we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. They are our first line of defense.
Benny.
When I went to the cemetery yesterday to venerate our ancestors, myself and some of my spiritual children. And you know, it is so funny. There was more than 100 men and women in the cemetery working, hustling, to paint a grave, to clean up grave, la-di-da. I mean, one tomb, you could spend as much as $3,000 to get it fixed up for this occasion. So the Catholic Church has allowed us 1 or 2 days to venerate our ancestors.
Not my ancestor. Not my ancestor. They get it every day.
Yeah, when you
Every
knock
day.
that Iggy and you pour your libation, man, and you call on them, yes, to walk on the
Every day.
enemies.
Every day. We do it every single day. And I want people to understand and wake up, you know. So if I or you are at the cemetery lighting candles in night and they passing, you know what I'm saying? But what are they doing there?
Oh, yeah,
What witchcraft are they doing?
Call the favorite word now,
Obia.
man. Call the favorite word, Obia.
You know what Obia are they doing there? But on this All Saints or All Souls occasion, you are allowed. All of a sudden now, it is the right thing to go to the grave and carry a little biscuit or cookies or wine and pour it on the grave. So all of a sudden...
No, Baba, we are saying it's so true, because you telling me only one day from today, after today...
And a day they give we, eh?
Yeah, after today, your ancestors don't mean nothing. They don't want no biscuit. They don't want no coffee. let the bush grow, let vine grow.
No light, nothing.
Yeah, no nothing. But come back next year, the same time and do it. Not my ancestors, not mine.
Oh yes.
They cannot dictate how we do our business with our ancestors.
If we have been so blindfolded, if we could just sit down, just like how we are sitting here, and you are way down on the next end of Trinidad, centralized Trinidad, and we having a conversation. So these people at the whole can realize why it is they're allowing us to do this today. And when the Orisha and the Baptist man do it, it is wrong.
It is wrong.
Yes, it is wrong.
So
it is wrong. So I just tell all my Christian friends, okay, I love how 2 days out of the year, all of you always join us in ancestral worship. I love it.
And here this, sir, if every creed and race finds an equal place, why should our practices be dictated by a different entity?
So true.
Here, every
So
creed
true.
and race finds an equal place. So if our Orisha people have to go out wherever and do their ancestral worship, we should not be dictated by a different group.
Not at all.
Honestly.
Not at all. Not at all. But it is time for us to stand up, you know. It is time for us, for our voices to be heard.
Yes, it is time.
Our ancestors have worked so hard for us to be able to be free. Now,
Yes.
some people say yes, but our ancestors did it so and it worked for them. But hold on. Our ancestors did it so because probably they had no choice.
Baba, and you know what is even much more hurtful? When you walk through these towns like these cities like Port of Spain and San Fernando, it is our ancestors who toiled very hard to build these streets, to build these cities and towns, and to have another person's name on these streets and not the names of our ancestors who cut these roads. You understand me? Who set up these towns. It is our true ancestors who did it. And to have the colonizers' names on these streets, it is a disrespect to our true ancestors.
I want to touch on some of the comments here. Baba Fabrice, Joy King the Freighter says, blessed night. Ayoka Curtin says, appreciate this wisdom. Madupi Omo me. I have a call here. Let you take this call here. Caller, you will have to call the next number 466-5391. If you are trying to get us, you have to call 466-5391. The numbers to call tonight is 466-5391. The next phone is down at this moment, so I'd like to go back to the comments. Ayoka Curtin says, appreciate caller coming. Yes, caller. Alafia.
Goodly panel there. Yeah, very interesting discussion. I think we really kick off tonight here. I wanted to ask the gentleman on the phone. What's his name again?
Ifad Bade Alaboybon. Or Leader Fabrice, any which one you can pronounce.
Okay, brother. Please to meet you, Alafia. Quickly, I didn't want to stay too long. The thing is, I want to say that it is my belief that humanity on the whole, you know, human beings, we are a special breed. And if we turn back to our ancestral understanding, which is absolute spirituality, which is the real dominion over all things, which people believe is eating anything that it have living and calling like demons. But dominion over all things means, you know, to me, you know, the command of, how to put it, boy, metaphysics and spirituality and technology go together in terms of getting free energy, stuff like that. I don't want to get into it too much. But where the battle on earth is against this spirituality and this discovery of self. Your preamble was very interesting and very on point in terms of, you know, rediscovering our spirituality. But that is the battle against the, you know, capitalism and money and materialism. You know, I don't want to get into the bigger hands that shake in the bottle, so to speak, that many of us are not aware of. We are not aware of the magnitude of the battle for humanity and human souls.
One more
So
minute,
what I
caller. One more minute, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So what I'm saying is that how do we get people to understand that there's a bigger battle and the discovery of self and the absolute spirituality of which you spoke about earlier? You know, how do we get people to understand that this is not really a boring thing, you know, spirituality is not a boring thing, and
It's
how
a
do we get
serious
people to
thing.
understand that to discover self is the absolute purpose of all humans on the earth and in this country. Thank you very much.
Now this caller has started calling regularly, and he's getting more and more. We seeing he's coming. Yes, he's coming. So
I feel I want to bless him up with a bottle of bois bandy.
yes, caller.
Ashe.
You try and get on to us. Have a next caller here, leader Fabrice.
Go right ahead.
Alafia caller.
Alafia brothers.
Alafia,
Yeah.
sister.
First time caller.
Well done.
I am really impressed with the topic tonight because I have always embraced this ancestral vibe of, you know, this thing that they want us to run away from. You know, like everything bad about our faith. And what I would like to encourage you all is to continue.
Ashe.
And I have an example of my daughter. You see, when we are aware of things and we go out there and we possess it, they are afraid of us.
So true, eh?
My little daughter, I will tell you, once the key is to train your children from small. We have to educate them from very small. It's not about taking black, white, or whatever. They must know who they are, where they are from, and how great they are. From a tender age, teachers were afraid of my daughter.
Wow.
And once we embrace our children and let them know the truth about the ancestors,
Ashe.
word,
Ashe.
nobody will be able to break them.
Yes.
I have witnessed that, and I have seen it. Parents listen and teach your children the good ways of the ancestors, what they are worth. My daughter is 14 years old now, very intelligent. She's respectful to everyone, regardless of race, color, or creed, but she knows herself.
Ashe. And that is good.
You can't break her. And that is something in our education system. Just as you see in the churches, they want you to feel everything else bad, the Shango bad, that bad. But they don't know the source and the richness and the power of it.
And the only way to control a group of people is to make them be afraid of who they are.
Exactly.
And which is one's ancestors.
Ashe.
Yes, I continue good work, brother.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you, yeah.
Thank you. I must say, I just want to touch on the Facebook page here. Leader Fabrice Fiola rather says, if them same people come to your home, see you have food or glass in the yard, they turn up their nose or go and tell people, oh, you're working Obia. When I hear them, I tell them, Obia is very good. Giselle Williams, good night to my father. Carlin Sylvester, if you light some incense here, same thing. Ajibose, Ilubion says, oh brother, Laford Law. Judy James, welcome Judy James, welcome. Judy James listening from New York. This show is growing, I must say it is growing. We need to push it, we need to keep it, we need the support, we need the sponsorship because it's not free. Have a call here again, Leader Fabrice.
Go right ahead.
Alafia.
Alafia
caller.
Leader Fabrice and to the panel. I just want to say that as as someone who is now getting to know about the faith, because I have been going to like feasts for the last 10 years, and what attracted me to it is the singing, the drumming, and the dancing. But I used to just go and then I used to just leave. But it is only like about 2 years now that I really had got a passion about learning more of our ancestors and believing in them more and more. So I just called to say to continue the good work and that you're doing. It is very informative and educational, and to continue the good work that you all are doing. And I will also like to have a number for a leader for brief, if it is that he do give out his number, please.
Yes, there's a platform here, they give out the number.
Benny.
Definitely. I tell people I live in public life. I don't fail. I have no skeletons in my closet, so I live in public life. My number is 478-4781. That number again, 478-4781.
Benny.
Yes?
Okay, and what's your cutoff time for calls?
We go till about 10.
No, I mean like in his private, in his cell phone.
As he come off from 9 o'clock, you get called long for.
You must see live in a public life, you know.
Yeah, you live in a public life, so call long for. You know, I must say, the show is very interesting tonight. It's going good. It's going very good. Fiola Rada says to people who calling on 3420081. I am using a different phone, so the only number available to call right now is 4665391. The number to call right now is 4665391 and not 3420081. Right? Kwame Jones says, strength and powers from GSP.
Blessings.
And Ziga Reed is having a wonderful time.
Blessings.
Colin Sylvester, yes, Buddha always smiling, never see him side. Judy James from New York says, the Chinese and the Jewish people honor their ancestors. So true. Alafia caller.
Alafia.
Good night, here. Kale.
Yes. Excellent.
1 second, please. I'm not hearing the caller. Clearly.
Hello?
Good night, here. Kale.
Yes. You're hearing me now?
Benny.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Excellent topic tonight, because I am always in awe watching African people, all these Chinese places now where they sell food, grocery, wherever, as you enter the place, you see their ancestral things and all the
big and bold.
Oh, yes.
And nothing is wrong with that, you know.
And we going and buying. If I only lose the key of my brain and say I put up a flag or a pour a libation and they see me, I would be the person, the biggest and worst, evilest obia woman it could ever have.
So true.
And we would go like meek little lambs and continue to buy and not even question, not even think. You see big man with big swords standing up watching you and they're going and buying everything. And all through the Bible they have ancestral. You worshiping other people's ancestors.
Yes.
You understand?
Full marks here.
Well, since I came to the tradition, and I say the other day, and somebody watch me cut I say Jesus is our ancestor too, you know.
Oh yes.
I said Jesus is our ancestor.
Definitely.
All of them, Mark,
Definitely.
James, John, all of them is other people's ancestors.
Didn't he die? Didn't he die?
Walked on the earth.
Didn't he? He walked on the earth. So, what a better night to have this discussion, I must say.
Yes, excellent.
What a better night. The comments just keep coming. Go ahead, caller, listening.
And more we are appreciating the knowledge and the all the wisdom that you all are coming with. More and more being appreciated.
Thank you,
Benny,
necessary. Yeah. And you see what you all just said, every creed and race find an equal place?
Yes.
You all really believe that?
We need to take our place. We need to. I mean, as much as it is said and sung, I really don't believe that that term is a full example of how we are in Trinidad and Tobago as a collective people. I don't think so.
If we continue to fight and struggle, no creed and race and no equal place, that is such a joke.
Is it truth?
Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. I just like to go
Thank
back.
you, yeah.
So we can keep the calls coming for Leader Fabrice on 466-5391, 466-5391, not 3420081. I'll just touch on some of the comments. Again, people who make it possible. Adiola says, good evening to Leader Fabrice, a brother, friend, and son, and ex-co-worker. May the universe add to your blessings. Continue to contribute positively to traditions and stay focused. Bless up again to the program. We have our next caller here. Caller, Alafia to you.
Alafia, brother.
Alafia, Kaleo.
Yeah, Alafia, brother. Good, and good night to you in real language too. I like the program, and I always like the program. Especially when we're talking Africa was good for me because I black conscious very much.
Caller, I know you're good at. Remember, you have 2 minutes,
2 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, I hear you. I get you.
I know you don't play with your black power thing at all.
All right, I get you.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what happened, right? Now, I want to start. My brother who laid out a good piece of lecture for me earlier, he went on a prompt note, and I like his note, especially when he put down a whole basic consciousness of what would they call here now? Discipline. Discipline. These words that exist within the frame of communication. Another word that is very, very excellent in our world. And you tend to see that people need to know these words more than they know scripture in religious terms, because you have to recognize that the existence we live in, it really comes from discipline. And with discipline is what really rules the existence on the whole, not only human beings, it rules plants, animals, and human beings, and the existence as it is. So then, there's where we need to really develop that consciousness in the aspect that we had known since we were in that times in Egypt and you know, all the areas of Africa. So we need to know that. We need to know that the Orisha is within our melanin.
Ashe. Say that again, caller. Say that again. Say that again, caller.
We need to know that the Orisha is in the black melanin. Watch me. It comes from so far down, and even now, if a black man go wrong a Shango, what do they call Shango or Orisha festival or what, you would see the difference, and if a white man comes already. If a white man comes, he comes and he looks, he does be a stranger to the rituals of us. We must get back to our cultural rituals to really get some back in the nicer conference and then let us get it back. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you,
caller.
Thank you. Ugun Keye Uminiki says everybody want to jump on the spiritual chain all of a sudden without knowing its root and foundation and using the tradition as a trend. It's really sad. And Ziga Reed says your words are powerful. 79 viewers and counting. Nikki Moore says Alafia. Diana Wellington says Ashe. Imagini Anaway says Ashe. Nikki Moore says Ashe again. So I say the program is going good.
Ashe.
It's going that good. It's that great. We have approximately 7 minutes before I go to the regular. Tell me what you think.
Let me just ask.
I would like to say something. Yeah. First of all, I would like to respond to the second caller about youth and her daughter. It is very important for us as a society or as a people to get our young persons involved, as she said. You know, a lot of us go to prayers or go to seminars about the Orisha tradition, but we don't carry our children. It is very important for them to learn from a young age. Don't wait until they get old. You know the old saying, you have to bend the tree while it's young?
Busy truth.
This is very important. And I'm not talking about just carrying your children to any prayers, because right now, sometimes what we could call prayers is just a jump up. It's just to be able to see the spirit, to ask them if what going on in your household. I am talking about really getting to a place or a shrine where you can actually learn. There are many in our tradition who are afraid to learn, you know. They have learned so much about what the slave master taught them from that book that they are afraid to learn something new because they reach so high in the big title, there's bishop and archbishop, that they are afraid to get back down and go back to A.
And start over.
So they continue in the foolishness and say, now forget that, I don't have to learn that. I don't have to learn that oriki, or I don't have to do this, because they are just afraid to go back to the start. Yes, I always say to people, spirituality, you know how people they say, I'm a spiritual person. That for me is the biggest support for indiscipline. If for Orisha is a tradition of order and discipline. We have rules and we have a way of life. Orisha way of life.
Order.
Yes.
So we can't just do anything because I'm spiritual. I could just go and dig up and make a stool. Or I'm spiritual, so I could wash somebody's head. No. Or the Spirit tell me that I could to go and wash somebody's head. No, it don't work so.
It don't work so,
It don't work so.
No.
You have to go through the training. You have to go through the rigors.
Benny.
You have to go through the rigors to be able to be qualified and properly deal with somebody.
Ashe. And you also must be graduated by your spiritual godparent.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
It is serious.
I remember once I had a function and I was giving people spiritual bath, and they went to tell my spiritual father, you know, he's going and do washed by the sea. And obviously my spiritual godfather, our king there, a jigboti file boy, he's a man that don't play. So he was totally upset. So he called to find out, you know, what the hell it is going on. And I had to explain, never, because I am not qualified to do such. So why would I even venture into such? But you know the tongue of man, how they are.
But you know.
So you have to be. Go ahead.
But you know, that word qualification and being in constant correspondence with one's godparent, it is so important in the development of one's spiritual growth.
So true.
It is so important. It have no shortcuts, as you know.
So true.
No shortcuts.
So true.
No shortcuts.
So true. So true.
Because see,
true.
it have some who think by the time, you know, they pass through initiation or whatever it means, you know, they supposed to know everything one time. It doesn't work so. You know, it's a constant road of learning, and it only comes with Iwer Pele, humility, and ensuring, you know, that your character could allow you to be learnt. You know?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But you know, this is something that they are afraid of. They are afraid of going through the rituals. Hear what they're concerned about. That the Babalawo charge them $20,000. But here my question. So this Babalawo, who has studied from the age of 5 and coming up the road, has gone through numerous rituals.
Yeah.
Has an innumerable amount of hours.
True.
Studying this tradition. You don't want to pay them nothing because you know why? Somebody tell you that you get a gift from God. What does that mean? So a doctor or a lawyer who has studied for only probably 10 years, you willing to give them $100,000 to be able to do a brain surgery on you? But it's the same thing with a Baba or a Iya or somebody who is qualified. It is the same thing. They have gone through the rigors. They have studied. This is not something that is just common spirit. That is a fantasy. That is when you're spiritual. Now, I am a spiritual man, but I understand the rules of the game.
It have rules and everything. It have no shortcuts.
We want to skip the rules. We want to skip the rules and just go on to many things.
And you know,
it can't work so.
And you know, one of the foundation rites of passage is humility, you know.
So true.
And humility would allow one, to calm down and understand, here what? There's no shortcut in reaching the next level. I must submit myself to the process of a spiritual guardian. It's a serious thing. It is a serious thing.
So true. But you see, a lot of us don't want to listen. A lot of us want to do their own thing, because I hear many of my brothers and sisters say, I don't want no man to teach me. Spirit is teach me.
Oof.
Your spirit could be one of confusion. Your spirit could be one that is misleading you.
Yes.
You do not know what spirit is guiding you.
Or is speaking.
Okay? Or is speaking to you.
Or is
you do not
speaking.
know if your ori is settled enough to be able to handle that.
Yeah.
And when you tell me spirit teach me, you have to be careful.
It's the truth. And you
have to.
Ogbeate, the Udu, it speaks about human beings needs to go through Ifa initiation to know their blueprint on earth. What you think about that?
I had a discussion recently about that. And the discussion the person was having with me is they don't find they should be able to or have to go through all of this. Because again, spirit teaching them, and they have been doing fine thus far. Or the ancestors saw them, or our ancestors thought us to do it that way, so it is fine. But as we read in the book, can any of the callers name your ancestors going back 7 generations?
No.
No, you can't. So you really don't know yourself really and truly, If you think about it, these other races, you notice their pride and glory when they have a family crest.
Yeah.
That they are able to name their ancestors going back how many years, and they live on a pride.
Yeah.
Some of these so-called 1%, they didn't have no money, It's not plenty of us have much more money than them.
You have a call here.
Go ahead.
Yabo Shishe.
Ogbato Ishori Oriwo fún.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Olódùmarè.
Kó tó pẹ́ o.
What a wonderful, wonderful program. I have been listening to the call-in, and I must say good night to everyone on this panel.
Thank you. Good night, Baba.
Thank you.
Good night, Baba.
I have some concerns with regards to our people and they misunderstanding the word spirituality. You see, we were given the last piece of the bread, the spoiled piece of the bread in this so-called cosmopolitan country, Trinidad and Tobago. And yet still, our foreparents survived. They survived. We are here to take this beautiful, wonderful, splendiferous tradition to a whole different level. And the only way we will be able to do that is when we start analyzing some of these so-called books, even the biblical terminology. In the biblical terminology, Luke chapter 14, verse 26 tells you that you have to hate your mother, hate your father, hate your sister, hate your brother, and also hate yourself to be a servant for God. No. Aren't we not experiencing that in this country?
So true.
Aren't we not experiencing the hate for each other? We are seeing that no matter what direction our people go in, we are being hated. And the most diabolical thing is that we are hating our own selves.
So true.
Let's go back a bit I went to a Catholic school and I was treated like a dog. Teachers will watch me with scorn because my mother may come to drop me off to school and they will see her with her head tie and whatever else. And they will treat me with scorn. They will put me at the back of the class. They will say to me, a child, imagine this, a little child, they are saying, do you really drink good blood? Or you really bite off the foul head and all these things? Those are things will have a child uncomfortable. And I am sure several yards in Trinidad, their children experience the very said things. So, when we watch at the Syrian Lebanese community, when we watch as the Chinese and so on, we will see them holding on to what they know as being their truth. If I'm going bad so far, tell me I'm going bad, eh?
Not at all.
They are holding on to their truth. You see, man was taught that we are religious beings. And because the religious laws had to come from somewhere, I shouldn't say man, the African man, we were taught that we are religious beings. But when we watch at all these religions, they have made this earth into a graveyard based on laws that does not apply to us. We understand Iwapele. We understand Iwalewa. We understand Iwalaye. We understand Enyaigidi. They don't understand that. Their religious laws is based on corrupting the African man and corrupting the African woman.
And making him
and we are
left of
suffering
himself.
the effects of that heinous act. And it is even playing off in our shrines and our temples, where it is a fight among ourselves, when we should understand that Shango, Ogun, Oshosi, Oshun, they are here to help us through. They don't, my mother used to always say, happiness and sadness live in the same house, but they don't share the same room. And if we are to move forward and come out of this ignorance, then it is only our ancestors can help us. I'm happy to see one of my spiritual children, as we say in Trinidad, Fabrice Baker, tonight speaking proudly of his heritage, his culture.
Sure.
I'm happy to see that. But we must remember that what we were given as opposed to other ethnic groups in this country, we were given no chance to truly find our equal place in this society. And as one of the callers said, the only way that we are going to come out of this ignorance is realizing that the power of our ancestors is in our DNA, it is in our blood, it is always with us.
Sure.
When we walk into a Catholic or an Anglican church, we will see St. Michael, St. Gabriel, St. Uriel, Raphael. We will see all that. They are the ancestors of the European man. And we are praising the ancestors of the European man. How could it work for us as a people? Water and oil cannot mix. We are to venerate and hold on to our true foundation, which are the people who came before us and struggled to hold on to their traditional laws. And we are here today, not just to make them proud, but to let Trinidad and Tobago and the world know that we are the heartbeat of this beautiful land they call Trinidad and Tobago.
Sure.
So may the love that we see on this program tonight may continue to propel us. May all of our positive ancestors listen to what we are saying. And with regards to Babalawos and maybe coming to Trinidad, as the brother said, one may go to school.
We have 2 minutes.
We have 2 minutes, Baba.
Yeah. We have 2 minutes because David Mohammed program are taking some of his time right now.
I'm sorry about that.
Yes, no problem. We have 2 minutes, yeah.
As King Shaka said once, we need to have border patrol.
Benny.
Because it's not just saying that somebody went to school and became a Babalawo. What about the Iwer of the individual? We need to be concerned about that as well. We need to be concerned about the movement of this individual through our blessed land.
True.
Because it's not just coming to Trinidad to get our money. It is about educating our people about our ancient tradition.
Benny.
So then we will be able to truly say, Iba Olodumare. Iba Igugun. Iba Boborisha. Iba Ori. And we will be a true force to reckon with. We don't want to hear no more talk. It is time for action. And I'm saying this to all the listeners tonight. It is time for action in our country. Invoke your ancestors and let them know what we are going through. And I am sure we are going to have a true, better, and more beautiful day. Peace, love, and since to everyone on this wonderful
Thank you very much, Baba Mitchell. Always supportive of the show. To you, Baba, leader Fabrice Baker, we say thank you very much. We have run over into David Mohammed's time, and another strong program coming up next, right here on the Sheet 919 FM. Don't you dare touch that dial. It's all about the black agenda with the ever electric, energizing, and well-educated David Mohammed. So we say, Awaro soro ilewaro, Awaro soro ilewaro, Awaro soro ilewaro, Awaro soro ilewaro, Esenkan kumpre,
Oye,
Esenkan kumpre,
Kawamasoro,
Awarosoro Ilewaro.
We shall fulfill our traditional
rights. We shall fulfill our traditional rights.
We shall fulfill our traditional rights. No isms, no schisms, nothing shall stop us from fulfilling our traditional rights.
Our traditional rights,
Ashe. So we have come to the end of another Educating the Truth. We have life on the Sheet 919 FM. Ayala to Mishe Ifaba Mishe, better known as MC Duke, and my host King Shaka. Until we meet again next week, may Olodumare bless and guide us and keep us safe. Ashe.
Peace and blessings. Ashe.
Peace and blessings to all.